Thank you everyone for joining this show today, May 1, 2019. Of course, as you're all aware, it's the beginning of a new month. And so we're doing two shows back to back. Our yesterday's show was not visible to many people. Many people complained to us. And so there's some messages that we'll be taking back. But first thing first today, I think a lot of things have been going around the revolution. A lot of things have been going quite wrong, beginning with the fake video of General Yeke that was shared by some activists. And even after they discovered that they made a mistake of sharing a fake video, they deliberately decided not to, as a matter of fact, correct that aspect, but instead they actually try to play blame games on General Field Marshal. On Field Marshal, we're going to be addressing all of those things and also talking about the situation in Libya. But above all, we would remember that today is a day that we are planning to take out the dictator in our country by way of ensuring that the May 20th is completely, absolutely boycotted. I will go further to explain a couple of things and to send a clear message to my people in Manyu division, especially. I've been out of social media for, I can say for months or so, because my WhatsApp has been completely broken, 5 numbers, and of course recently our Facebook page or pages. Now, we want to be very clear. This revolution is just 3 years old, and we have been fighting with the dictator for just 2 years. And that is, as a matter of fact, the shortest period where an independence war has been fought. And so Southern Cameroonians must understand that it remains very, very important for everybody to know that this war must be won. As a matter of fact, there is only one option for Southern Cameroonians to put in your minds. And the letter from the chiefs technically condemning the dictatorial governor from La Republique du Cameroon who sits and is putting himself an impostor governor for the southwest or southern zone of the Federal Republic of Ambazonians will not work. I want to inform Okala Belai that Ambazonia will not have one governor for a southern zone. No, we have 13 counties, and unlike where they have 2 governors in the northwest and southwest, we're going to have 13 governors or 14 based on the ideologies of our president, His Excellency Siseko Ayok Tabe Julius. I want to be clear. I use the pronoun I because this time around, this whole issue is going to be a matter of salvation. We will have to be taking personal actions on our part. My promises for May 20th have not changed. I have not changed my promises. Going further, let us be clear with everybody. Now, the people of Southern Cameroon, those of you, especially those of you in the diaspora, you must understand one particular aspect, that this war depends on the collective effort of those our people in the refugee camps who will deny the dictator. It depends on the restoration forces. It depends on you, the population, by boycotting every activity of the dictatorial regime. It also depends especially on you, the population, in understanding that the government of Mr. Paul Biya, through mercenaries, criminals, thugs like Paul Atanganji and other facilitators, would use every means possible to convince you to fall out with the population. Let us be clear here. I want to be very clear. This time, we will not spare in flattening anybody who is a facilitator of the Biya regime. There is genocide that's been ongoing in Southern Cameroon for close to 3 months, or 3 years rather. And we will not have people we consider as our own people supporting the regime. Going forward, the people of Manyu, I watched yesterday after one of my friends or brothers from Massachusetts indicated to me, because I've not been on Facebook for a long time, and he indicated to me a video where Manyu, Petroleum Association, and of course the Drivers Union were playing a football match. And in that video, amongst other associations, the SGO for Manyu was handing a trophy to the communities or the players or the associations. Now, this is my take. I know all of you in that video, and I want to let you know, all of you who were there in that video, you know me from gold. I want to tell you something. The SGO ordered soldiers to shoot and kill Chuku in Bisongabang. They have killed their own fellow driver in Bisongabang. Bisongabang, Chuku was killed. All of you, those in the Patrol Association, you remember what the military did to your patrol at Saturn Bridge. Everything that you worked for was burnt down. In fact, the Petroleum Association was the first major target in Manyu. And the fact that we have been quiet, let me tell you something. You see, for anybody who cares to know, Manyu is one of the most successful divisions in terms of the fight. However, because as an activist, you must keep yourself submitted to hierarchy, there are people in Manyu division or Manyu County that I decided to say no. I will not indulge myself in trying to fight about what should be done here, what should be done. But I think that all of them have had their time enough, they have drawn the rope enough, and they have not done something substantial to sustain the division, and we will be taking over henceforth. Let me tell you something. We have enough fighters to destabilize Manyu, to ensure that we capture that territory, but we left in the hands of a few people who call themselves the Manyu Advisory Council. I'm sending the message out clearly. I've told Siseko Akrikak, Siseko Gaspari, and the rest that for long they have been fighting each other from Chang to Bisongaban to Kembong, and things are happening in Manfe. We stayed quiet. When I say we know ourselves. We stayed quiet because before, some people actually were saying that, oh, EricT is doing this because he's interested in being this in Manyu. I have never been anything in Manyu. I've never been even a floor member. I'm less than a floor member in Manyu. But I think that the time has come when we have to take charge. Because waiting for people to do things and they stay behind quarreling themselves will not help us. Going forward, we will summon a general assembly for the Manyu people. Those who care to come should come. We will restart and reactivate the Manyu that Siseko Ayoktabe left before he went to jail. We will no longer be waiting on people who are elderly. We have given them enough respect. And we think that for any county that is not working the way we anticipated, we as activists will have to step in to step up the game. And this is the time where Manyu will be completely taken over. Going forward, all of you, the drivers, the Petroleum Association, everybody who participated in that particular encounter, that the SDO who signed a communique in Manyu banning all members of our villages, making sure that they evacuate their villages from Agbokem German to Sanakang to Sanagarati to Abonandu in Akwaya and to many other villages. You still decided to go and honor him. We are going to declare a special lockdown for Manyu. That is it. When the time will come, we'll tell you, and we'll tell that it's punishment for going out there to celebrate the eve of May 20th with the dictatorial SDO for Manyu. From you, the mayor of Manfe, Ayokta Konjung John, to the deputy mayor, Prince Lee Ojong, and to all of you, Mama Zhang, and the rest of my friends that I saw you in that video, we will teach you that we are at war and we will not celebrate with a dictator that has come to destroy our people. Let me be clear with you. There will be a special 2 weeks ghost town lockdown only in Manyu. And when the time is right, when we are ready military, we are going to impose that. I am going to take charge of that because that is my county. And that is when, if that SJO would be a man, let him show his face outside. Or if the mayor of Manfe would be a man, let him come outside. Or if any driver would be a man, let him come outside. Or anybody will sell petrol. So Manyu people, from Manfe to Okoyom, to Bachontai, to Bachakagbe, to Kendem, to Nomba, to Emojok, to Sanakang, to Akwaya town itself, to Kesham, to Bache, to all the villages, Satum, Abatu, begin to stop your food. Because you will face a punishment for disobeying the laws of the land. Remember that Siseko Ayoktabe Julius is your own brother that is in jail, that is suffering illegal incarceration. Yet you are jubilating and greeting the SGO as Bidin Pat was greeting Tobia. It will not happen in Manyu. So Siseko Akak, Gaspari, the rest of you to Siseko, Dr. Ako Peter, and the rest of you in the Manyu Advisory Council, I want to tell you that you people have failed. My name is EricT. You people have failed, and we have stayed quiet for too long, and things are not happening because we say, oh, let's respect the elders. Now we are going to take command. There's going to, I don't need nothing in man, but we are going to coordinate to ensure that all the fighters defending homeland are, as a matter of fact, feeling well and feeling confident to fight. All this quarreling, where Siseko Gaspari are quarreling Akat, Akkad is squaring this will not happen again in Manyu. You people will have to line up under the new dispensation in the Manyu County. If you don't want, we're going to ask the fighters to completely discard and disown you people. We don't want to hear anything about, oh, there's a Manyu Advisory Council, there is this, there is that. There is nothing in Manyu because people have failed. We only see where people do small contributions and you take money and give to the same people in Nigeria that are sponsored by the same SDO and mayor for Manfe. It will not happen again in Manyu. So for those of you in Manyu, I want you to take note. Start stocking your food. Move out of that division or county if you can, because we will not tolerate it anymore. Now, that is it for Manyu. I think my point, I've made the point very clear, and will not tolerate anybody. This revolution will never fail. I want to put in your head. Put in your heads. It will never ever fail, because we are going to fight till the last man standing, just like Barrister Fuji also said on Afrik Media. We will not give up. We are gone. And there are 2 Cameroons, and we have had our independence, and we will restore it. And we will not have anybody, whether you are Manyu, Menchum, Lebialem, or anybody, come to try to disturb us. Point number 2. I'll continue in Lebialem. Now, you have seen the fake video circulating on social media that it is General Ayeke. Let me be clear with you. That video is as old as the last time that you heard that Ayeke was killed. That video is as old as that time. So, La République du Cameroon took the video and kept it and was circulating it on May 1st. So, when that video came out, we're following. The first person, one of the first persons who posted on Facebook and saying condolences was one guy in China. You all know him. One funny guy in China. After he discovered that that video was fake, he did another short video, started blaming Field Marshal. Oh, Field Marshal is agent of the Republic. This is that. This one is agent provocateur. I've listened to it. My brother sent it to me. One of my brothers that lives around here. I want to congratulate you for that. Now, I laugh. Do you know why? Because Field Marshal might have problems with Ayeke. But every true Southern Cameroonian knows that the only person that can say Field Marshal is an agent of La République is only an agent of La République who wants one of our bravest fighters to be associated with La République. Field Marshal is never and will never be an agent of La République. If you are connecting the dots that, oh, you said Field Marshal worked in the presidential guard and all of those things, which 99% of the facts are not true, will you also mean that Ivo, who died, General Ivo in blessed memory, who was also a B, who was fighting Boko Haram in the far north, precisely in Kolofata, that many of you in the fake ADF gang didn't know. They didn't mean that Ivo was La République? No. Why do you think now that Ayeke, or rather, why do you now think that Field Marshal is more La République than Ayeke, who deserted from the military? I want to be very clear. Ayeke is not La République. Field Marshal is not La République. You don't bring conspiracy theories because you are leaning on one side to hit another person that you don't like. To me, as an activist, I have sworn to speak the truth. And it is not about conspiracy theories. I cannot come and call somebody La République when the person has not shown enough signs of being La République. Let me say this very clearly to all these other activists who are facilitating the work of Paul Biya. Today is May 1, and La République intentionally released that video because they wanted to confuse us, focusing on our strategies on May 1. And the first activists who picked the video and put on Facebook, they were ADF, pro-ADF activists. When they discovered I was fake, then they came and were apologizing. Many people called me in the morning and said, don't worry, I'll do a live show. Just be calm. Don't bother about that. They are making noise. Ayeke has been under detention for close to a week. We are negotiating on how to take him out. And we're even suspecting, according to what one of his assistants told me today, that it is the same kind of mafia that the ADF played when they claimed that they rescued him. That is the same thing that's happening in Bangang. But I want to tell people that those of you who are listening to me, the ADF people, listen very attentively. The last thing you want to do in this revolution is to harm Ayeke or do whatever you want to do with that boy. But I want to let you know that in as much as you are trying to associate our bravest general, Field Marshal, with La République, also try to associate Ayeke, who is my personal friend, with the same La République, so that you can achieve what you want to achieve. But so long as you are doing conspiracy theories to take Field Marshal and relating with La République because you want to achieve a divide and rule strategy to gain the favor of Ayeke, it is never going to happen. Ayeke remains a fighter of the government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. He remains a son of the BLM. He will never belong to any group that is related in any way to the ATF. It will never happen. So if you are doing all those things, we all know that the only people who can say Field Marshal is La République, it is going to be somebody who is La République. Take, for example, if it is not dullness that, I mean, if it's not because that particular guy in China is stupid, how will he even appear to him claiming that Field Marshal is La République, when even in that fake video that the La République soldiers killed a different fighter thinking that it was Ayeke, they were jubilating that they have killed Ayeke and they are saying that it's remaining Field Marshal. So how do you reconcile those facts? Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Southern Cameroonians, I want you to remain committed. In that same video, he mentioned my name as an agent provocateur and also said that he knows the company who built my website. I want to inform you for your information that no company built my website. Companies don't build websites these days. My website was single-handedly built by one of our Ambazonian brothers who contacted me from Cyprus and said that this is what he wants to offer me because he sees that it's important for me to document news on the website. He built that website and we have a mutual agreement on how we are moving on that. So do not get confused because you think that, oh, this man maybe is doing this with website. Or the only way you can discredit yourself is to try to attack EricT. Is try to attack the brave compatriots of this revolution. Because we have stood by the people and we are praying to God to give us the wisdom and the energy to continuously stand by the people. Let me go further. And I want to be clear that Paul Biya remains our enemy. But just like Fidelis Ambe was saying yesterday, we will not condole with facilitators of Paul Biya because we want unity and cohesion. It is never ever going to happen. I want you to remain focused. I am not bothered about anything that is happening around me. I'm not bothered about my accounts that have been deleted, my ban on WhatsApp. As I speak with you, I cannot send or receive money on Western Union. I've been banned. I have the letter here from Western Union. I cannot send or receive money from any part of the world. One of our brothers sent money and he had to change it back to Joshua Carr's name. That was about 4 days ago when I discovered that. But I don't want to bother about it because I understand that all those things are only defining the fact that you have to keep going, Tataw. EricT, you have to keep going because that thing that you are doing is helping that regime so badly. And I want to tell you something. We will not give up. We will never, ever give up. That is why we can drive thousands of kilometers away from our homes to go attend events in the name of Ambazonia. We'll pick all the tickets from the police, but we'll keep our concentration, we'll keep our calm. Even if it means that our vehicles will be spoiled and we'll have to trek to event grounds to hold briefs for Ambazonia, we will not give up. It is not about Facebook. It's not about doing videos every 2 minutes to come and attack people. I want to tell you something. Your attack on an individual or whatever policy that is vague and crazy must be substantial. It must be credible. Listen, when you want to come and talk about the revolution, talk about people, look at yourself in the mirror and say, what is my contribution financially, mentally, psychologically, or otherwise? Let us be clear and let us be very clear. To me and to you, the people of this platform that have just come just now in your numbers, listen very attentively. This revolution is in your hands. I was with Dr. Fontaine Neba, Dr. Edmond, and Professor Lumumba the other day in Ohio. And I told Dr. Fontaine one straight thing. I told him that this revolution is your revolution. This revolution is Seseko's revolution. There are 5 people who have this revolution. And everybody must be aware of this particular critical aspect of our revolution. This is not EricT's revolution. It will never be my revolution. It is not AYOZ. It's not Sarko's revolution. No. There are 5 people who have this revolution. 1, Barrister Bob Kumu Bala, whatever way you classify him, this is his revolution. Balthasar Wilfred, this is his revolution. Fontaine Neba, this is his revolution. You go from there, you move to the man they call Manchum BBC. I want to remind you of this particular fact. This is Manchum's revolution. Then final person who came and, as a matter of fact, helped us to restore our independence, and which is now written in the annal of history, is Siseko Ayotabe Julius. There are 5 people who own this revolution that will look up to them as the faces of this revolution. Not some strolls and some propagandists on social media who make noise from left to right. Now, if you make noise every day that, oh, because this man came yesterday, so what? Siseko came is the earliest, but he was the most wanted and still the most wanted. Even in jail, they still want Siseko's head. We want to be clear. When did Barrister Fu Johnson come? Only yesterday, we knew him as the lawyer for Siseko. But he is the most vibrant force that is holding the revolution. It is not because Roger Miller played for 10 years or Modest Mbami came before Etofis. It is who is scoring the winning goal, who is contributing in pushing the ball ahead, away from our camp into the enemy's danger zone. That is the question you should be asking yourself. That what is your contribution? That's the question you must ask. I want to challenge all these activists once more. Tell us how much you have ever contributed in cash in this revolution. Tell us how much of social media threat is your Facebook or your WhatsApp to the regime that will have to spend millions and millions upon millions of dollars to ensure that you are deleted from Facebook. I will not want any way, in one way or the other, I have struggled, have my most precious social media communication platform deleted. One morning it disappeared, and there's nothing I can do about it because there's a stronger power that has more money than me. There's a stronger power. But then what do you need? You need the support. The same fake non-entity in China who was making noise that, oh, he's the one that has reported. I have the screenshots from the group. I have the audio. You are making noise that you are the one that you know how much work we have done to make sure that EricT's account is deleted. You cannot delete my account. You don't have a time to delete my account. If you delete my account, I'll stop Facebook from working in Cameroon. It could only have come from Probia. Let me tell you if you don't know. So it is clear that we have aligned our strategies, and there is no way we are going to allow ourselves to be sucked in the dirty mud of this ADF surrogates and criminals. When I was receiving friend requests from everybody that was sending, I didn't choose nobody. I saw all of them, all the ADF, the TSC chair, the Samilox Manyo, all of you, the ADF surrogates, I accepted your friend request because I always want you to stay on this page so that you take the message back to those your baboons who call themselves dictators or self-proclaimed caliphs. We are going to win. We'll go to Boya, and we don't need no fake people to go to Boya. Let me tell you clean and clear. Listen very attentively. Let me tell you very attentively. Listen. There is one thing that you must know. The war is almost over. Probia is done and dusted. We need to stay the course. And while we stay the course, we'll be kicking by the side and far away from us all those distractors, all those criminals. Look, for example, I said it yesterday, but the video could not be watched by many people. I said about Fundi's arrest, and I want to repeat it, that ADF, I want you to listen to me, EricT. We, the people of Southern Cameroon, we have defeated Probia. Even if it takes our entire resources and lives to fight till we get to Boya, we're going to do it. I, as a person, I have the conviction that independence will come. I am not God. I don't know exactly when. Listen, when you are going for an exams, when you have read, you know that you pass, but you cannot say exactly what marks you have. But you know that your scores will be good. And this is the same conviction I have. Let me be clear with all of you. We will go to Boya. Probia cannot stop us. There is no way. If they block this account, I'll open a new one tomorrow. We'll come back on WhatsApp. We'll come back on Telegram or Telegraph. We'll come back. Telegraph is another app. I'm not talking about National Telegraph here. We'll come back on all the various social media platforms, and we will send the message straight to the dictators. We have a lot of dictators in this revolution. Let me be clear. Take, for example, the ADF people, you said you arrested Fundi because probably some of us were absent on social media to make those analyses. I want to repeat myself that you are criminals. You are thieves, and we will not allow you to take credits meant for the patriots of this revolution. A group of fighters from Northern Zone coordinated themselves under our county-by-county approach, and they monitored Fundi from when he left Bamenda in Mezam to where he was going to Bui and other areas. And they captured him. They arrested him to give him a message. Now, thieves and criminals of the ADF, you got it out there and you said you were the person who arrested Fundi. I want to still remind you, like I did yesterday, that we remember when you arrested the Dio for Batibo. We remember when you arrested the regional delegate for social affairs. What did you do? You put your logo there. That was then. Who is the regional delegate for social affairs compared to Fundi? You put your logo and you make a voice that, oh, these are ADF fighters. And it was true because you did that job. And we have never argued that. Instead, we are asking you proof of life of these people that you paraded on social media and you later on killed them, and you killed them to support Paul Biya's ideology that Ambazonian fighters are killing. That's why we have disassociated ourselves from the ADF. Because you cannot catch somebody, you show the person to the crowd that this is the person they have arrested, and all of a sudden the family is complaining that their family member is nowhere to be seen. How can you come and you present yourself as an Ambazonian fighter, you arrest somebody, and then you still kill that person? Is that what the Geneva Convention says? No. That's not what the Geneva Convention says. Once you arrest somebody as a prisoner of war, that person must be kept. So the ADF, you are not different from Paul Biya, and that's why we say it, and we still say it, that all other leaders of this revolution, from Paul Herbert to Maurice to other people, they have united. And the ADF cannot unite because they are part of La République du Cameroon. And want the international community to know this fact, that there is not this unity in Ambazonia. We are united, and any faction that is left, only one faction is a facilitator of the Biya regime. Going forward, you arrested that delegate and you showed him that this is ADF with the ADF logo. How come that you people of the ADF can arrest Fundi and your CIC will not come and post on Facebook before everybody that we have? He posted about Ayeke, small Ayeke, that they have rescued Ayeke, but he could not post about Fundi, that they have arrested Fundi. Then ADF will arrest Fundi, and you will not come and put your voice in it, say, Mr. Fundi, Chairman, you know we are ADF fighters here. You only wait. After you have failed, you just pick a video, as you always claim responsibility. You pick a video that, oh, you have arrested Fundi, and then to solidify the lie, you went and took your own very ADF fighters, you tied by a pole, and you said you have arrested people, and you put somebody to talk and to confirm the fact that he's the one who arrested Fundi. If you arrested Fundi, why did you not mention it in the video? Show me a video with the ADF logo. If you could screenshot logos of the EU and put on the wall of the same chair and table that you sat doing the Dublin or whatever declaration that has been watered down completely by Secretary Chris Anu, why would you not put your logo in the Nidon Fundi arrest video? That is because you did not arrest Fundi. That's because the video started circulating on Facebook and elsewhere before you people of the ADF could get it, and as usual you claim responsibility. I want to tell you very clearly. Today, there is something that's going on in the State Department. They are doing briefing on the religious aspect of the conflict in southern Cameroon. AGF, you don't know that. But if we didn't say it, you come and say, oh, you are the person who initiated State House or whatever. So I want you to know that. Now, your CIC, till date, has not produced to us the New York interview that he did during the London oil saga. We don't want us people to be disturbing us. We don't want us people to think that they can confuse us. So long as we live, we want to first of all challenge your CIC to bring us a copy of the New York Times interview on that date that he went to London to sell oil. If he brings that, then we'll start knowing that every other thing that he has said is the truth. After anything out of that, we all know how fake the ADF is, how much people are facilitating the regime. And if you think that you can come here in this revolution and disturb our people, I want all of you to be rest assured that me, EricT, I have 9 lives. I'm Smoke. I'm a cat. I'm the Gary Master. You have to take me out first. And to take me out, you have to come with 10 lives. Because you must come with 10 lives. Because while you are killing one of my lives, I'm killing your own. I will kill all our lives and we'll be left. You should be left with 1. Because if you come with 8, I will still survive. That said, going forward, let me be clear. I want to visit our interim government. And it is always my desire. This is the most important part that I want every Ambazonian to listen. Of course, there is no ADF anywhere on ground zero. General Ayeke is still being held under detention, and I know that the ADF will be coming out with stories to convince people, but I will be here. I will be here. I will be here. If they block this one, I will be making short videos for 5 minutes and distributing on WhatsApp. It will still go around. So you had better be ready for me, because I've come this time And if I stay that I'm not talking on Facebook, it's because I decide not to, not because somebody can shut me from talking on Facebook. Delete all the accounts. I'll come back. Now let me take this very quickly. I want to go to something very important that I want to draw the attention of the interim president. You see, this revolution is our revolution. And I have told everybody that all the leaders can be bad, but Sako is better than all of them. But it doesn't mean that because we support the interim government, if the government makes a mistake, we will not point it out. It is your responsibility to tell every member of the... I'm looking at the list that they say the interim government has made, it has reshuffled the government. Listen, we must criticize it. This is absolute nonsense. Because if you like it, you must tell the truth to the government. I support the IG because that's the same thing I told Dr. Fontaine and Professor Lumumba. And Professor Lumumba and Dr. Fontaine, they agreed with me that it's important to support the government. Now, there is no country that has gained independence without going through a kind of governmental kind of framework. Let me explain what I'm saying to you. Even the fake ADF people, or the AGC, or GOF, whatever they call themselves, you see how they are doing appointments. They are signing secretary of this. But the same people who said before that appointments are not done during war times, they are also doing appointments now. What does that mean? It will tell you one thing, that the IG is on track. But while the IG is on track, we must be certain that we have to control a couple of opinions about the way the IG looks at things. Now, Dr. Sako, you have done appointment. We appreciate it. We want the IG to have an overhaul, for the IG to be restructured. It's not the kind of restructuring where you are recycling the same people in the IG. I look at this, it's the worst appointment that has ever been in this revolution. You cannot be recycling the same people. You remove Professor Anyim, for example, from Chief of Staff, you come and put him in Foreign Affairs. So it's like Dr. Sako has some friends, a clique of people that if they are not there, he cannot work. I mean, there are people here who have helped to render the IG useless and hated by many. You still recycle and you keep them in the IG. For what reason? Ambazonians, you should wake up. We will support the IG, but we will not agree anything that is not correct with our interim government. We propose that Dr. Sako should go back to the drawing board. Go and look, this is appointment. It is Paul Biya-like. I say it is Paul Biya-like. You orientate people, you remove. Paul Biya removes Churuma from communication, that is redundant, and then he takes the same Churuma, he goes and puts Churuma in vocational training. We will not accept that. It is important for all of us to know that we as a people, we must remain very committed. My brother, Nebon Steve, you agree with me? Because it is important for us to school our IG. The IG should come and put a list of the 13 counties. We have said that the IG should show us who are our leaders. Don't just they didn't know these people. They should present themselves in pictures and in every other aspect. Okay, look at something very briefly. See, look at the Department of Foreign Affairs. You say Secretary of State, Professor Ayim, the same person that they have criticized as Chief of Staff. You have moved him from Chief of Staff, you brought him to another better position. Like Paul Biya removed this man from here and put in the same position, the same government. We don't want a change, a recycling of government. We want a reformation in the IG. We want when you say when you say the list has not been confirmed, if the list is not confirmed, it's not supposed to be on social media. Who leaked it out? Who put it out on social media? Who put it out? And reputable activists have put it out there. So they say that list is a list of nominees. Fidelia Amber, I agree with you. If it is a list of nominees, which of course is the case, we are not supposed to, listen, let me tell you something. We are not supposed to have it. A list of nominees is not signed by the president. It is there on the board to say that this is Trump's nominee for White House Chief of Staff. It's never signed because the ethics committee of the Senate must seek to try to validate it. It should not be on social media that this is the list, because we are just trying to tell Dr. Sako that if this indeed is a nominee, he should know that there are things that we object to. Take, for example, you come here, you have Ambazonian National Council for Diplomacy. After you have had, because you just make a lot of headings so bogus, we don't need all these things at this time. We need a government that has workable functions. In fact, we have proposed that there should be 5 departments, like the time that they came to DC for cooperation, economy and finance. You will have diplomacy. We should have communication. Look at what Dr. Sako is doing here. If you posted this, a proposed list. There's Department of Communication and IT. There's Secretary Chris Anu. You come under here, you come and have Ambazonian Broadcasting Corporation, which is good. This is one of the positions that I like for Emma Larry Kuku that brings. It's important for her. Then you come, there's some other thing that they say, what's this? Some other thing related to communication. Let me see. really quickly. Okay, National Council for Communication and Public Relations. What is that? What is that? You have Ambazonians, you have Department of Communication and IT, you have Secretary Chris, you have this other person, Walters Fondo. Then you come and have Mommy Comfort Kumfo and Dr. Kesha or something for public relations. But this is National Council for Communication and the Public Relations. See, all of you in the IG, you are my friends. Mommy Comfort, all of you are my friends. But I must tell you for the truth. That I think that is because you are friends to Dr. Sako, so he just think that, oh, let me just create something new, that kind of stuff new, and then put this my people there. It's not supposed to be like that. You even go down here, there is still something related to communication. State House Press Secretary. If there's supposed to just be a press secretary, and it just remains like that. What is the essence of communication? This communication that. In fact, that is just like Paul Biya does, creating this, that, here, all of those things, confusing people. We don't need that. We must tell our government the truth. It is too bogus, it's too huge, it's so compact, it's so crazy. We don't need all of this. I think that those of you who are in the interim government, you must go back, you advise the government that this is what we want, this is what people think. Somebody is proposing about regional balance. It is very important, very, very, very important. So we must have, Nebon Chris, I want to say that what Dr. Sako is doing here is bogus, because if you have a communication director, or if you have something like IT, inside the Department of Communication and IT, there should be somebody who is like the IT, like the secretary should be looking for people that he works with, and then the committee visas it, not for the government or a president to come and sign this bogus list. A president does not sign issues that are related to divisional delegates. They are not seen there. Their technical position, director of corporations, all of those things that we put out there is not just coming and signing things. This one, like, we support the government, but we will not accept anything that's wrong. This list is bogus. And the government should go and sit and look at it. Anybody can accept it, but I will not accept what is wrong because I want to please anybody. All the people that I have named here, I know their names, that they have taken you, they have put you under Secretary Chris, they create another position and put you, because you were formerly in the government, you were Dr. Sako's friend. Dr. Sako has made new friends, he wants to bring them to the government, he does not know how to bring them, he is creating other positions to put you people there and making the whole thing like a child's play. This is a revolution. We want a good government, a good interim government. Not all this thing of creating posts. Yes, that government is going to stay. But it doesn't mean that if the government makes a mistake, why is Professor Ayim coming here? I propose that a lot of people think that Professor Ayim is holding you, Dr. Sako, back. I will say it to your faces. I'm not scared. So why do you bring him here? You remove him like Biya removed Churuma from a chief of staff or from a communication and brought him into vocational training. He removed Atanga from special duties, brought him to territorial administration. Removed Nalowa from this place, from Douala, whatever, and then brought him to the same people. You recycle the same people. No, that has to stop. We don't have to do this. It's our government. In as much as we condemn those people for the wrong things they do, I want to say that we owe the population the very reserved right to let them know the truth, to make informed decisions. So this list, if it is actually a proposed list, please, it should be cut down by even 50%. We don't want to see all these names left, right, center. People should learn to work in this revolution without having positions. It's not when you are secretary of this that you work. It's not when you are this. I'm going to places representing myself, being as a floor member. I'm nothing in this revolution. I'm just an activist. I'm just the director of Telegram. I have no position in this revolution, and I will never have it before and after the revolution. So that should be the point. You should not be recycling people left, right, center every now and then to try to confuse us. We will not accept it. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is just a brief. We'll continue to have more live shows on this platform. I want to thank you for coming. Don't forget, once you are following here, go back to our National Telegraph page. You go, when you type on Facebook, look National Telegraph, click on like and follow, so that in case anything happens to this one, you'll be hooking up with me there, because I post most of the most vital things on that page, because it will never be removed and stuff like that, except otherwise you cannot tell exactly. So once you watch here, those who are watching that have not been friends, you can also follow this page. If the friend request is soon full, you can follow this page, or you follow National Telegraph. I want to thank people very much. Our IG is the best. That's the only government we have, but it has made a mistake in an appointment, and the government must be criticized in order to adjust that. God bless you and have a wonderful day. From here, we'll be moving to the State Department to see what's happening. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Continuously pray for your country, because your independence is right at your footstep, and we will not lose it. We're never going to lose it. We're always going to win this particular fight, because this is the only last thing we depend on. God bless you and stay blessed. Bye for now.